We're in passage 4. This is a data passage. So in our DRC approach, data passages you don't read, you just skim at best and then go straight to the questions. So we know this is a data passage because we don't see any study 1, study 2, we just see data. So we have a diagram, figure 1, and then we have, oh, that's a terrible circle. Then we have table 1, table 2, table 3. So just quickly looking at what they have, looks like we have food, mass, water temperature, heat released, and we have amount of sucrose and heat released, and then chemical compound, the formula, and mass and heat released. So just kind of orienting yourself to where everything is, then get to the questions. Remember our R&R approach to the questions. You're going to read the question to orient yourself to what it's asking. Sometimes you might even want to put it into your own words to say, here's what I'm trying to find, and then reread it, and you're breaking it down step by step as you go. According to tables 1 and 2, put your fingers on tables 1 and 2. As the mass of successive sucrose samples increase, so we're going to be in table 2. So as the sucrose increases, we notice that the heat also increases. So the change in water temperature, so what's going to happen to that change in water temperature? So we can look in table 1 and see that the more heat is released, the greater the water temperature goes up. So, and this makes logical sense. As more heat is released, the water temperature would go up. You probably didn't even need to consult table 1 to see that. Or you might not have even needed table 2. You could have just looked at the heat released and the change in water temperature. So your answer is F, increase only. Which of the following graphs best illustrates, that's the question we're answering, the relationship between heat released by the foods and the change in water temperature. So table 1, put your finger on table 1. And really, if you got question 20 right, you should get question 21 right. It's pretty easy in that sense. So as more heat is released, as heat increases, the water temperature goes up as well. So your answer is B. You can see that if you want to look at particular foods, look at cheese. 17 is the heat released, and 14 is the water temperature. This is the highest number. Heat release for potatoes, 3.2, and the water temperature is the lowest, 2.7. So it goes up constantly. Based on the data in table 2, put your finger on table 2, one can conclude that when the mass of sucrose is decreased by 1/2, so we go from 4 to 2, the amount of heat released will do what? So it goes from 64 to 32, that's decreased by half as well. Let's try 2 to 1. When it goes from 2 to 1, it decreases from 32 to 16, so decreased by 1/2. The answer is G. Which of the following lists the foods from tables 1 and 2, so fingers on tables 1 and 2, in increasing order of the amount of heat released per gram of food. So we need table 2 because it has sucrose, and we're looking at the mass of 1. So it's going to be where we're looking at sucrose here. So which one has the lowest amount of heat released? And that's going to be the potato at 3.2. So we actually have our answer already, choice A. We could check the rest of them to be sure if we want. So we could have them in successive order just to be sure. We already had our answer with the first choice because potato is the only one listed as first. Based on the information in tables 1 and 2, so put your fingers on tables 1 and 2, the heat released from burning 5 grams of potato, so 5 grams of potato, here, this is 1 gram, so we're going to burn 5 of those. So you could go the logical thing and just say, well, let's just say 3.2 times 5, but is that logical? Well, we already established in question 22, there's a direct relationship. In question 22, we said as the amount of sucrose decreases by half, the heat release decreased by half. So now we know there is a direct relationship. So 3.2 times 5 is about 16, or as closest to 15. Choice H. So just to review our answers again, number 20 is F, number 21 is B, number 22 is G, 23 is A, and 24 is H.